Welcome everybody to this short video with me, Paul Garrigan, where today I'm going to be sharing, my backstory, journey I've been on over the last 7 to 8 years that has brought me to a place where I am now able to support many, many men in the world in finding, methods that work for them and giving them the exact blueprints and methods that have helped me to create a life of mastery and step fully into self-mastery. And I do this by taking men on a journey of self-discovery, because this is exactly, what I've been on, from a man that has struggled in his life and faced many challenges. Externally, at the time, 7, 8 years ago, I had everything. I was a man who, had a beautiful family, had a house, we had 2 cars, we were having holidays every year. We had money in the bank, and we were able to invest money. And internally, I was dying. I was struggling. There was something right. I was having panic attacks. I was overthinking. My mind was busy all the time. I felt like something was deeply wrong, and was going wrong with me. And this led me to a journey of self discovery and self mastery. And through that journey, it helped me to create a vision to be able to stop men going down, the same pitfalls and different modalities out there in the world that simply, are being sold by marketing gurus, by therapists and by different so-called specialists in the world that are simply keeping people locked and keeping men locked in pain, and not giving them a way out and not helping them and not giving them a map, and is actually disempowering to many men in not, leaving the onus on the man and giving him the necessary tools, capabilities, and qualities to go and create the life he wants and master himself internally so he can master his external world. So that's what this video will be about, in terms of me telling you more about exactly how that journey looked for me, and then exactly the frameworks that have helped me and that I continue to use to help hundreds and thousands of men in the world. So starting with my backstory was, I've just come from a normal work and class background, or what you would perceive as normal. But we had many challenges in our childhood. There wasn't lots of money, and dad and my mum, had their own problems maybe going on, and my dad certainly, he was suffering with mental illness and alcoholism, which led to different problems as a young man, and left me being quite disillusioned in the world as a man, not knowing how to show up, and being quite fearful inside, and being quite an anxious person. That it then led me, to, in my younger years certainly, it was led me to falling down maybe the wrong path, and getting involved in the wrong type of things, where I was sort of being led astray, and looking for that sort of male role model, and maybe father figure in my life to be able to support me, and to show me the way, because I was simply, I was a lost boy and I was a lost soul, which led me to make many mistakes in my youth. But as that was happening, I was still chipping away. I'd always trying to be a better man. I was just not knowing how to do that. So I started working as an engineer, got an apprenticeship, and this certainly supported me. But I knew that this just wasn't what I wanted to be doing. It was sort of a means to an end, to get the bills paid, because I was a father really young, at the age of 19. So this allowed me to be able to provide as a man. And I was always going to work, maybe showing up every Monday and every Friday. I was made up of a Monday. I was gutted of a Monday to be starting the working week, to be going into something that was just not for me. It wasn't what I wanted to be doing. It wasn't lighting me up. And then I was wishing the weeks away. I couldn't wait for the weekend. So I was locked in this mundane cycle of life. And this led me, to around the age of 26, looking for what it is that I wanted to do, wanting to be something more. So I was thinking of what is the hardest thing that I can do to test myself as a man. Even though through this journey, in my early 20s, I was struggling mentally. I was always maybe, numbing it with maybe drinking and unhealthy habits. I was trying to break the mold of what was maybe keeping me locked in this negative mindset. And I was looking at everything external. I was looking at, is it my status? Do I need to make myself more in terms of, what I've achieved? So I went and joined the 4th Battalion, the Parachute Regiment, which was an incredibly hard, 6 months during that training. But I found on the day that I finished that training, once I'd achieved, the Maroon Beret, that not long after, I was feeling empty again. I was feeling unfulfilled. I was feeling disillusioned. I still felt locked in the mundane life. I still didn't feel like a man. I still didn't feel worthy. I still didn't feel strong or confident. And I simply, went on to my next adventure, if you like, and trying to find myself, which was thinking that it was money, thinking that it was finance. So I got myself a job in Saudi Arabia, working offshore, and again, earning really good money. But what happened to me on this journey, um, you know, was really it was a really difficult journey for me because it ended up exposing parts of myself that I hadn't yet seen because I was spending a lot of time alone and I was having panic attacks and I was doing the average things that we all get told to do in terms of go to the gym, which is I was a fitness freak, and eat the right foods. I was always eating the right foods, and try and get a good night's sleep. I was always trying to make sure I was in bed nice and early. But there was something mentally and emotionally not quite right. And I thought maybe, I was looking at it online. Is it anxiety? Is it general anxiety disorder? Which I got diagnosed with at the time. And I thought it was because I was away from my children that I was having, attachment issues, not being at home. So I got myself a job at home after working away for a couple of years. And I was working then as a project manager. And I noticed that this feeling, these thoughts, this way of being was still very much alive in me. I was still having panic attacks. They were getting worse. I kept trying to solve it externally. I'd ticked off every single box that I could find as to why I may be feeling anxious and what might be causing it, through looking at things externally. And it's not until I fell to my knees that I started to seek help. And I went to see the doctor, and he gave me, medication, for a couple of months, and this numbed the feelings that I was feeling and numbed the thoughts, but it simply stopped me being who I was. And I thought, around 7 to 8 years ago, after my dad had struggled for many years, that I thought this isn't going to be me. This is not going to be my life. This can't be me. I need to find a way out. I need to, as a man, figure this out rather than being controlled, by the external world, and actually seeing myself suffer and being in a world of pain. Um, so this then led me on a journey of self-discovery, of self-transformation, and of self-mastery. Of over the last 8 years, working with some of the most amazing people in the world that I could find. From doctors, from scientists, from respiratory and sleep scientists, from shamans, to meditation teachers, to spiritual teachers, to mystics, looking at Eastern and Western philosophy and traditions and cultures, learning about shadow work, learning about the male psyche, doing men's retreats, reading hundreds of books, listening to podcasts, and doing a wide array of different modalities in which to understand myself as a man. And, through this process, there's been many hoodwinkers, shall we say, who portray to have the answer, who portray to, say that this is the magic pill that you've been looking for. And what I've found on my journey is this is untrue, that there was never a magic pill. And there was a lot of people simply trying to, take your money from a person who was vulnerable, and a person who was actually looking to, be the best that he could be and was willing to throw whatever it took in terms of finances at it and in terms of my energy. So I've I've met my fair share of, like I say, marketing gurus who claim to give you the answers and then, leave you high and dry, if you like. And this is primarily, why I do the work that I do, because of the pitfalls I've faced, because of, I've tried everything. I've tried, as many modalities out there as I can in terms of, going to the gym, breath work, meditation, sleep, fasting, plant medicines, working with shamans, spiritual teachers, like I say, just a whole array, yoga, a whole array of different modalities that are out there that have all got so many different practices within them as well. And for me, through doing that type of work, through learning what worked for me, taking this to the average man who wants to, perform at a high level, who wants to be exceptional and live an extraordinary life and strive for excellence, both internal and externally. This is exactly why, I do the work that I do. And, what I'm going to deliver over the next 12 months is the exact 12 methods that have helped me master myself. So it's going to be 12 methods to mastery. And these are going to be the exact 12 methods and frameworks and methodologies and practices that we can implement in our lives as men to go on to master our life. And I'm going to be giving all of these methods for absolutely free, because I want to be able to give back to men. I want men to be able to become empowered and to step into the world as the man they know they want to be. So this is, an opportunity for men to fast track themselves over the next 12 months. In something that has taken me, the best part of 8 years to dissect, to understand, and to implement. I'm going to be giving you each step of the method in terms of, a step-by-step process and a ladder in terms of your own development as a man and getting you to implement this in your life. So it's going to be an amazing 12 months and 12 months video series that I'm going to share with everyone. Can't wait to put it out there. And can't wait to help hundreds and thousands of men. So please share this video. Please share this map to mastery and these methods to mastery that I'm going to be sharing. Because from the man I was, being a man who was lost, disillusioned, lacking purpose, not showing up as a man for his family, feeling like there was something wrong with me, sabotaging his own life with unhealthy and, toxic behaviors. To being a man today who was leading other men, who was able to give back to other men. And when I say leading other men, my job is to help men to lead themselves. So it's about men becoming empowered, taking responsibility and ownership for their life, but giving you the exact tools and map in which to do that. So this will allow for transformation to take place. So the work and the way that I now offer this work is through Men's Inner Mastery Academy, which has different programs within it, with the next one being in March. And, if it's something that you're interested in after listening to this video and, watching some of the 12 methods to mastery, then, this is something that I teach inside Men's Inner Mastery Academy. I give men the exact process, and they'll be working with me direct and another group of men within there, that are all pushing to be the very best versions of ourselves, and actually, working through these methods that I have created. That, it's not your average therapy, it's not your average course or marketing guru that is out there in the world that is trying to sell you a fad, and trying to just take your money. And there's no heart, there's no care, and there's no relationship with the person. This is deeply meaningful and transformational and sacred work within Men's Inner Mastery Academy. And you will see that in the 12-step method and the 12 methods to mastery that you will become familiar with over the next 12 months. So stay tuned, and please, feel free to send me a message on Instagram if you're interested in having a conversation, and I can let you know more about what it's like inside Men's Inner Mastery Academy and create a vision for you for 2025. Have a beautiful day.